Number 3. Your CPU is overheating due to dried up thermal paste. And while this certainly could also be caused by leaving the sticker on the cooler when you're installing it, or just an improper mount entirely, those are the kinds of things you're going to notice immediately and not necessarily something that changes over time. Now, while they are obviously competitors of ours, I'm not going to lie here and say that OEMs like Dell, Alienware, and HP Omen haven't massively improved over the years, but it wasn't all that long ago that they were still absolute garbage computers with terrible thermal designs like the old Aurora cases that Dell was still using in 2020. And if you're someone who only buys pre-builts, then you may not even be aware that thermal paste is even a thing. So if your system was already running loud since early on, and you're not running any kind of monitoring software or checking your temperatures, your system could be throttling in an attempt to keep it from killing itself. So how can we check for this? Now, while you could certainly go remove your cooler and check under the hood, there are certainly a multitude of much simpler ways. In my opinion, it would be this app right here, Hardware Info 64, and if you watch any big tech YouTuber, then you've more than likely already heard this before. But Hardware Info 64 is a wonderful free app that can certainly deliver far more system information than just temperatures, but for the purposes of this video, we'll stick to that. Simply download the app from their website right here, find it in your downloads, and then install it like any other app. Each time you open the app, you'll have the option to choose whether you want the full version or just the sensors or summary. And since all we need is the temperatures here, we can just do sensors only. Now when you open the app yourself, it will look slightly different than this, as I have customized the view within my app with a double window so that I can see more at once. But simply scroll down until you see CPU. I don't remember the exact default order, but eventually you'll see some temperatures listed under your CPU like so. Now without overcomplicating things and explaining what each of these little CPU sensors actually are, all you really need to know here is that red equals bad, or in other words, throttling, or in other words, slowing down to save itself from melting. Now the most common critical temperature for a CPU to begin to throttle is 95 degrees. But 95 degrees is not universal, and it can sometimes be lower or even higher. And throttling can manifest itself in different ways, but most notably for gaming would be constant dips to your FPS. So if your temperature is over 90 degrees and turning red, you're probably throttling. And even running above 80 degrees is still not what I would call great for the longevity of your system. And that could even be a sign that you need to go ahead and change the pace now. But back to the topic of throttling, if that's the case for you, you absolutely need to lift the hood and check out what's going on under there, and most likely, you're going to find some crusty up dried paste like this.